college, yeah, that was an interesting detour. Too much of a commitment. Not really the whole regimented stuffed shirt college scene type of gal. Blah. Well, what have you been up to?
After the Mindy project, I was excited to hear Ike Barinholtz play main character in Bless the Hearts and hear Mindy Kaling play main character in Monsters at Work. I fell in love with her performance of Val Little, so as you can imagine, I was very depressed to see Mindy Kaling blow away all of that goodwill 1.5 years later. If Adult Swim Velma Dinkley acted more like Val Little, her cheery nature would be a good counterbalance to Velma's dark story and be truer to Velma Dinkley's character.
Yeah, I loved the movie. I was obsessed with it. And there's no female characters in the first one. Yeah, wait, no, that's not true. That's a lie. I was about to make this big political point about how exciting it was. And I can name 3 characters that are female.
You already got up to 3. You said 0, and then you said 2, and now you're up to 3.
Boo, Celia, and Flint are 3 major female roles in Monsters Incorporated. Now, I know none of them are scare workers, but that's why Monsters University made a point of writing in female legacy scarers in Abigail Hardscrabble and Carla Benitez. I think the only barrier, and Charlie Day's Art was another monster from that film shaped like a neck pillow before Mindy Kaling played Val Little. So I guess the only barrier that Mindy Kaling really is breaking with Monsters at Work is that she's the first Indian voice actress in the Monsters Inc. franchise.
Do you know what it was? I wanted to come in and make a statement.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like, I'm breaking barriers with this show. I was like, I am the first woman of color that's ever been in an animated movie or TV show. And it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Of course, Mindy Kaling isn't the first woman of color in an animated film or television show. Ugh.
The first woman of color to play a main character in an American animated television series is much more likely to be Barbara Perriott in Josie and the Pussycats from 1970. The first man of color to play a main character in an American animated television series is Casey Kasem in Batman with Robin the Boy Wonder from 1968.
Let's not forget, Jennifer Lawrence is also very far from being the first female action movie star in the Hunger Games, because before her, the first female action movie star was really Pam Grier in Coffee from 1973 and Foxy Brown from 1974.
I want to ask, because I'm always fascinated by this, because you have a 3.5-year-old?
Yes.
And you have a 10-month-old?
Yes.
And the 3.5-year-old, they might watch a show like this. And do they enjoy when they hear their mom's voice?
Yeah, she loves it.
Oh, that's great.
I hope you know how lucky you are that your oldest daughter, who is now 5 years old, is too young to watch Adult Swim Velma because, and she can only watch Scooby-Doo cartoon series and films that are lighter than Mystery Incorporated and Zombie Island because if she saw Velma now, I know she'd be very, very sad and upset to learn that her mom ruined Velma Dinkley and the rest of the main Scooby-Doo characters who are not Scooby-Doo by rewriting them into a completely different IP. Contrasting Scooby-Doo Where Are You with Velma it makes for a very jarring contrast from G to R, two completely different audiences. A tonal shift that drastic is always very scary to watch.
There was a lot of like, so not Velma, like those kind of tweets.
Right.
Not the classic Velma that I'm always thinking about. And I just, first of all, I didn't know that she elicited such strong reactions in either direction. And I just couldn't understand how people couldn't imagine a really smart, nerdy girl with terrible eyesight and who loved to solve mysteries could not be Indian.
Right.
Like, there are Indian nerds.
I would be completely fine with Adult Swim Velma making the main characters more diverse if if the episodes and storylines were actually written well, and Mindy Kaling didn't completely warp their personalities. If she didn't warp every main character's personality into what she wanted them to be. Because Velma's clearly a self-insert for all the insecurities that she experienced as a high school nerd. The Disney Channel Descendants trilogy, for another example of this. The Disney Channel Descendants trilogy of TV movies is written well enough that I really don't care about the fact that Cruella de Vil, Ursula, Aurora, the evil queen from Snow White, and their descendants have been race swapped. It doesn't bother me at all, because Descendants has a good story and good characters on which to fall back. So, changing some of the main characters' skin colors is not one of its biggest problems.
I think not, by the way, this is a small percentage of people, but it really made me think like, okay, we gotta be really careful with this character, which we will be because we really love her.
Yes,
and
I
she's
have
gonna
no doubt about that.
have great adventures.
Mindy Kaling lies again. I know she does not love Velma because she and Charlie Grandy never cared about being careful with the character. Mindy Kaling just wanted to possess Velma Dinkley's body so she could remake Scooby-Doo. So she could rewrite Scooby-Doo and remake it all her way. Didn't you see the poster and hear the trailer when she said, "This is my story told my way"? All of you know by now that Adult Swim Velma is not the love letter to the Scooby-Doo franchise that Charlie Grandy said it was, or else they would actually care about keeping the main characters' personalities consistent, instead of giving us very few, if any, redeeming traits to latch onto. It's not even funny. It's just sad. It's not even good at being serious either. Growing up with Scooby-Doo, my mommy Linda identified with Velma Dinkley the most. So I know she's going to be very sad and upset with how the Velma series destroys the character of Velma Dinkley. Because I know my mom's going to be very upset with how the Velma Dinkley series on HBO Max completely ruins the character and good name of Velma Dinkley. Because the Velma Dinkley in this Adult Swim-esque cartoon is no longer the lovable shy nerd that she used to be. I thought she was better than this. The Velma Dinkley I know would still try to find some good in Daphne after she became hotter and popular instead of shutting her out the way she shuts everyone else out.
It is always just such a delight to have you here.
I have to leave?
Yeah.
You're
Time's
throwing
up.
me out?
That's it. You did great. And if that thing in the beginning you said was true, we would have kept you around.